At one point, the subject of today's video had 63 offers coming out of high school, was seen as a prodigy ever since he was in middle school, was a 5-star recruit, and was both the future of the Kentucky and Florida football program. At 6'8", Kiyaunta Goodwin is a freak of nature, but unfortunately, his first year and a half in the football world has not gone as planned. He has now spent time at 2 different schools, and after a tragic situation back home, he has now hopped into the portal and will try to find a new school. In today's video, I want to introduce you to the 6'8" superhuman player who had 63 offers and now needs to find a new home. We're to talk about who he is, what happened at Kentucky and Florida, why he's entering the portal, and where he could go. But before we get started, quickly be sure to leave a like if you want to support today's video, subscribe if you're new and love college football content, and let me know what player, team, topic, or situation I could cover next. Now, let's get started. Going back in time, Kiyaunta was always a big deal, and because of how big he was a local prodigy in the Louisville area. In 8th grade, he took a visit to Florida State and was seen as the next big thing in the Louisville area. Goodwin originally started out at Holy Cross High School as a freshman and was named to the Max Preps Freshman All-American team. He began his weight loss journey at 425 pounds, and he had a love for food, but knew he had to slim down in order to take seriously his college football and NFL career. He lost over 100 pounds after his freshman campaign, making his transition to college football all the more feasible. He made the sacrifice and then transferred to Ballard High School for his sophomore year. After that, he followed his trainer to Charlestown High School across the river in Indiana for his junior season, and he became a huge deal there. His trainer spotted Goodwin and was ready to add him to his list of elite names he had trained. He worked with local Kentucky guys such as Rondale Moore, Giants receiver Wan'Dale Robinson, Las Vegas Raiders cornerback Nate Hobbs, and Cleveland Browns offensive tackle Jedrick Wills. That is quite the elite list of names right there, and Goodwin was next up. He got a ton of offers, and as a junior at Charlestown High School, he started to generate national buzz. At the time, he was near 6'8" and had lofty goals for himself. He said, quote, "I want to be the #1 player in the country and prove that I am the #1 player in the country." Eventually, he gained an eye-popping 63 offers and was a dime a dozen. It's hard to find good offensive linemen, and that is why the top schools and blue bloods dominate. When you get a guy who's 6'8", it'll give them that competitive edge. Eventually, Goodwin chose to commit to Kentucky. He had offers from Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, and Texas A&M, and 24/7 Sports compared him to Orlando Brown. National recruiting analyst Alan Troe wrote that Goodwin had first-round potential. With him choosing the Cats, this made him the highest-ranked recruit to commit to Kentucky during the Mark Stoops era. Goodwin's trainer said, quote, "If Kiyaunta decides he wants to put the work in and be disciplined and focused, he can be a top pick in the draft. I truly believe that, and I've worked with some first-round talent. He is the best football player at the high school level. If you had to draft any high school player right now in the world, it would be him, and I think he checks all the boxes." Goodwin believed he was the best and most complete lineman in the country, as he said no one could block better than him, and there wasn't a lineman who could pass block better than him or outwork him. He was definitely a giant get, both literally and figuratively, as according to 24/7 Sports, Goodwin was a 5-star recruit, the #5 offensive tackle, and the 33rd best player in the class of 2022. How would he do an hour down the road in Lexington? Well, when he arrived at Kentucky, he was named to ESPN's preseason freshman All-American team and had a lot of height. While some thought he would start, he ended up being more of a backup player and didn't get much of a chance to see the field. He struggled to crack Kentucky's offensive line rotation, and despite his recruiting status and lack of a redshirt year, he appeared in 11 games. Primarily, he was on special teams, only playing against both Miami of Ohio and Youngstown State for a total of 3 snaps. After his freshman year that didn't go according to plan, I guess he got impatient and decided to try and step it up a level. He decided to enter the portal on December 16th of 2022, and then signed just over a month later to Florida. It looks like he was supposed to be a pivotal player for their offensive line, as they lost Osiris Torrance to the NFL, and Billy Napier desperately needed some talent. Kiyaunta was a ginormous get for them. He was expected to compete for Florida's right tackle position, and apparently he was really impressing the coaching staff both in practice and during the spring game. His position coach said, quote, "You know, with his length and size, it's hard to find those guys, and you gotta go get them." All looked really well for him, but then behind the scenes, something tragic has come about, and now he has decided to enter the transfer portal. He has decided he's going to go back home to reunite with his mother, who was recently diagnosed with cancer. He plans to continue his football career at a school closer to home, and also intends to apply for a hardship waiver from the NCAA and hopefully get immediate eligibility. First and foremost, quickly stop and say a prayer for Kiyaunta and his family and his mother especially, as that is absolutely awful and that does not make things any easier. Secondly, you're probably all wondering, where on earth is he going to go? Well, if he's from Louisville, then that probably means there's a good chance he ends up with the Cardinals. Jeff Brom was recently hired as the head coach there, and he is a local legend in the area to begin with, and two, he's a good recruiter who now needs a good offensive line. Other options besides that are just local names that come to mind, such as Purdue, Indiana, and Cincinnati, which are all just a couple hours away, play at a high level, and could be good for him. But I'm sure pretty much every school in the country would give him an offer if they could, but he's probably going to stay home and transfer to Louisville. Either way, this guy is a freak of nature. As someone who's from Indiana, I've heard about him for quite a while now, and it's sad that it didn't work out at Kentucky and Florida, but I hope all is well for him, and he lives up to all that massive potential he has. But what do you guys think? Where do you guys think Kiyaunta Goodwin is going to end up? What topic should I cover in my next video? And before you go, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and check out all my other videos on the end screen. Hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.